According to NASA's recent National Climate Assessment Report, the next century is going to be characterized by increased temperatures, changes in precipitation patterns, more droughts and heat waves, rising sea levels, and an ice-free Arctic. With a changing climate, we as a society are going to have to adapt to the changes that global warming will bring and also make changes to reduce our global impact. While this seems like a significant challenge, cities can initialize this change by implementing sustainable infrastructure into their climate action plans. Like the rest of the world, the effects of climate change in Minnesota will be unique to the area and will require changes in our infrastructure. From 1951 to 2012, the annual average temperatures in the Twin Cities rose by 3.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Along with this, current models are predicting that the average temperature in the Twin Cities will rise by around 3 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit by 2050. While this may not seem like a crazy increase, it will certainly be felt throughout the state. With this rise in average temperature comes an increase in the number of days with extremely high temperatures, which is especially problematic in the city because it can lead to an urban heat island, causing individuals that are unaware or unprepared to be in danger. Urban heat island refers to the idea that in major cities, dense concentrations of pavement and buildings absorb and retain heat, which increases overall energy costs and puts many in danger. Along with this, from 1951 to 2012, the annual precipitation in the Twin Cities has risen 5.5 inches. Models have also shown that in the future we might get rainfall that happens less frequently but is more intense. This is especially dangerous in the city because this intense rain could lead to flash flooding, which could lead to property damage and civilian danger. Another problem that is evident in this study of climate change is the greenhouse gas emissions, as they directly relate to the trapping of heat and the warming of the planet as a whole. This is especially a problem in the Twin Cities because our cold climate means that we use tons of extra energy just to keep our buildings warm during the winter. Over the past decade, our greenhouse gas emissions have been decreasing slightly. However, 2018 surprisingly saw a 4.9 increase in these emissions.
However, there is still hope for our beautiful planet. Both across the globe and here in the United States, people are trying hard to make a big change. Since cities hold the most people, it is only natural that the big changes have to start there. One place that is going the extra mile is Wamrath Park in Philadelphia. This park uses all natural components to help redirect stormwater. In Chicago, they have also come up with a rather creative way to combat urban heat. They've decided to use green roofs. These roofs are almost exactly what they sound like, just roofs of buildings with plants atop them. Since roofs don't always have the most practical use for that extra square footage, Chicago decided to come up with one. Projects like these show the initiative and creativity that is necessary to save this planet.
By using these precedents, we can come up with a set of guidelines that the Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board can use to make new parks more sustainable. Our first solution is that the Minneapolis Parks and Rec Board uses the precedents set by the City of Chicago by setting up initiatives to incorporate green roofs on many of the public park buildings. Along with this, new parks should look at the precedents set by Wamrath Park by implementing carefully engineered green water management infrastructures into the landscapes of the parks. These two initiatives will surely be effective as our area experiences increased amounts of rainfall in the future. To support the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions in the city, MPRB should outline initiatives to increase the amount of low-emission transport, whether this be by more efficient buses or better bike path infrastructure. Along with this, they could set up an initiative for all park maintenance vehicles to meet a certain emission standard, following the precedent outlined by looking at Leipzig.
However, we all know that policy doesn't always move as fast as necessary, and often has monetary gain behind it. If anyone in the audience wants to help make a change in their country, there are many organizations that will allow you to do so. One big one is Youth Climate Strike. Led by Greta Thunberg, this is a group of motivated adolescents who want to make a change. They are protesting that the government enacts the Green New Deal, which has many criterion, some of which being invest in renewable energy, halt fossil fuel production, and reduce carbon emissions. They also endorse politicians like U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and 2020 presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. These politicians support and even helped draft the Green New Deal. It is going to take the masses to help push this green policy, but it is certainly possible to create and enact legislation to save our planet. As of right now, our planet isn't doing so hot, but we are not too far gone. The policies and initiatives mentioned in this video are just the tip of the iceberg, a mere starting point. If the people of this planet want to see a change, then it is imperative that we act quickly. People must voice their opinions to the politicians and corporations. If enough people get on board, Earth can prosper as it once did before this whole mess even began.